So after episode 3, it's clear that Walter Flynn doesn't want to work with the CBI or Tommy because they're Flynns, but their profits are down, and this was a chance to squash the bad blood between the Flynns and the CBI. And Vic definitely recognized this. He was someone who wanted to work with Diamond because he's thinking business first, not this grudge that Walter or Uncle Paulie have. So we're gonna see Vic, Diamond and Tommy coming together behind Walter's back. We're also gonna see Claude Flynn doing her thing, but there were a lot of promo images that were released for episode 4. So in this video, we're gonna run through the synopsis, exclusive clips and the promo images, which include Tommy meeting Herman for the first time, who's JP's father, and there are definitely a lot more which we're gonna go through. And we're also going to run through whether the Serbs are making a return to power, and it's all based on the synopsis and connecting a few dots from what we've seen in the past and in Power Book 4 Force so far. So let's start with the synopsis for Stormclouds, which reads, Tommy's new friend remains at the mercy of a resurgent notorious criminal organization who are led by a bloodthirsty enemy from Tommy's New York days. Now we all know that Tommy's new friend is Liliana, but who is this notorious criminal organization from Tommy's past that exists in Chicago? Now it only makes sense if it's the Serbs, but it is fair to say that Tommy's made a lot of enemies in the past, but most are dead. For example, Milan, who was someone who had more of a cannibalistic side to him, but definitely a bloodthirsty Serb. But for those who have been around on my channel for a while, knew I mentioned the Serbs are from Chicago, because this is where Jason Michich was based, and we even saw Tommy going to Chicago in season 4 episode 6, and Joseph Sikora even teased in a few interviews that the Serbs are still against him. And this is what he said in one of them. He said, and the Serbs, the Italians and Monet. Now all the Tejadas are against him, so now he has to leave New York in his rearview mirror. So it really does make sense that it is the Serbs that are coming back from Tommy's New York days. Now connecting the dots from episode 3, why would Liliana be at the mercy of the Serbs? Now in this conversation with Tommy, she mentioned that she needed a kick this morning because she had to cut for another crew. And we all know she's been working with Jannard in the past, someone who owes her 8k, and we're gonna see Tommy and Liliana both at Diamond's barbershop. But who is this other crew that Liliana has been cutting for? And could she have been talking about the Serbs? Because we even heard Tommy mention Jason Michich's name, and I really don't think it's a coincidence. So is this where she's got these bricks from? Because even though I did mention that Tommy has to put his trust in someone, I don't think Liliana was being 100% truthful when it came to these spider bricks, especially being 300k's worth, and even more after they cut the bricks. And we've also got Walter Flynn telling Tommy that his sidekick has caused up a storm. So putting 2 and 2 together, Liliana may be the link between Tommy and the Serbs. But Liliana is someone who's not afraid to hold it down, and we've seen a glimpse of this when she went toe to toe with Tommy and even landed some blows. And based on the trailer and scenes and the promo images of Vic with his piece and a silencer, there is definitely going to be a hell of a lot of action in episode 4. And this is where I really do think Power Book 4 Force's action really picks up, because they've been setting the foundation over these last few episodes with Tommy meeting the CBI, the Flynns, and Liliana, and they've also focused heavily on the spider card, and now this is where I'm thinking everything will start to tie together. So while we're on the topic of tying everything together, in Power Book 2 Go Season 2, we also saw Detective Whitman looking at the Serbian network, so I do wonder if this will tie into the whole Power Universe storyline, and if this is a connection between Power Book 4 Force and Power Book 2 Ghost. Not necessarily this season, but just leaving the breadcrumbs for a future season. But let's move on and talk about Diamond, Tommy and Vic Flynn, because there was a small exclusive clip that was released earlier on in the week, with Tommy sitting down with Diamond, which looks like it wasn't too long after the sit down with the Flynns. And I do wonder if this scene was actually inspired by Training Day with Denzel Washington, because we know how they bring concepts from other TV shows and movies, so that just may be a movie Easter egg when it comes to this scene. But when it comes to the sit down with Diamond and Tommy, this is going to be followed up by Vic joining them soon after, and we're going to start to see Vic going behind Walter Flynn's back, because he's thinking on the same wavelengths as Tommy and Diamond, and he wasn't a part of the Flynn and the CBI history when Uncle Paulie's wife got a glass full of face, or when Walter buried 9 of Diamond's men. Vic Flynn is someone who's definitely thinking about the long money and making business-based decisions, which I don't think Tommy and Diamond will have a problem with, but they all need to be wary of Walter, especially Vic, because Walter is a man who sticks by his old school traditional ways of the Flynn business and when it comes to Vic's love life, but also because they're working with the Italians, Greeks and the Polish, and he said if they were to find out that the Flynns were working with the CBI, then the consequences would definitely be fatal. And this is another hint that we could be introduced to a new crew later on this season, or again, like I said before, leaving the breadcrumbs for a future season, especially when it comes to the Italians. But as we see Tommy, Vic and Diamond working together, how long will it last? That's the question. And there's a few issues here. There's Gloria, Jannard and law enforcement. So with Vic Flynn, even though he seems like he's business first, what happens when he finds out that Gloria is still seeing Tommy? And 2-Bit even once said that shit always goes sideways when you mix the two, so this is something that could still cause an issue in my opinion. Now with Diamond, how will Jannard feel that he's basically been cut out from the big decisions that are now being made at the table without him? Because even though he's lost his power and control over the CBI, he's still gonna have a very loyal following, especially from the younger CBI boys who grew up under his leadership over the last 15 years, not Diamond's. So the power struggle between Diamond and Jannard is definitely gonna be interesting to watch. Now there's also the constant threat of law enforcement, as we all saw from episode 3, because we know the Flynns, they're being watched outside of Gloria's bar, where Tommy was caught on a few pictures. So he's gonna have his head on a constant swivel because he definitely noticed them clocking him. But let's talk about Claudia, because along with Vic, she's someone else who's doing her own thing, because Walter keeps pushing her aside and having her just do the books when she knows she's capable of so much more. And Tommy even recognized the position that Walter has her playing is all wrong, and that's because Tommy can spot talent when he sees it, and he's also someone who wants to build his own organization. But Claude is definitely her own woman, and these are a few of the promo images where she's working with Mai. And she made it clear before that she's just going to be working with Mai herself and not taking the drug to Walter Flynn, so it seems like she's going to be meeting a mob boss. So bringing it back to how I mentioned that Walter said they're working with the Italians, Greeks and the Polish, I really wouldn't be surprised if we start to see them being introduced and Claude Flynn going behind Walter's back with this new product that she has, similar to how we're seeing Vic Flynn going behind Walter's back with the CBI, because it really is going to start to become a pattern with these Flynn kids. But coming away from the Flynns and the CBI storyline, let's have a look at Tommy's relationship with JP and D-Mac, because I mentioned before that every week we seem to be getting something new about Tommy's past. But in episode 3, we learned that JP's father's name is Herman, but he's also sick, and he's got a lot of medical bills that need paying for, and it does look like Tommy's gonna come face to face with Herman for the first time in episode 4, so I do wonder if he knows anything about Tommy and his past, and what he can tell him about Kate Egan, because she's also been mentioned around 3 times already this season. But with D-Mac, it seems like this image is from when D-Mac meets his father face to face for the first time. Now D-Mac knows who JP is, but JP with his baseball bat fighting to protect his club doesn't know who D-Mac is. So it seems like we may see these two coming face to face for the first time, and then let's see how the relationship develops and whether Tommy starts to learn more about who D-Mac is, because his character description tells us that D-Mac is still a kid at heart, looking for someone to take care of him, and after a run-in with Tommy proves more than a fluke, D-Mac is going to look to Tommy as he hits a crossroad in his life. So this is something that I think we may start to see play out in episode 4. So that's a breakdown of the synopsis, trailer and the promo images for episode 4. And an episode where I think things are definitely going to pick up pace with a lot of action, backstory and returning characters. For example like the Serbs, and who knows, maybe some more, because this is the Power universe. And if you're not dead, then there's always a chance you could come back. So drop all your thoughts and predictions down below, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 4 Force and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.